Hello, everyone, and welcome to the 2024 Disc Golf season here on the Disc Golf Pro Tour. The All-Star event is just around the corner in Brooksville, Florida. But before that, we have to pick teams. It's draft time for the MPO division. They play the All-Star event at the much anticipated Olympus course, formerly known as the Grand Canyon. It's going to be a wonderful week of disc golf. And as we pick teams, I'm going to introduce our captains on the MPO side. The top two seeds from the previous season. We have number one seed, player of the year, Calvin Heimberg, and number two seed, two-time major champion, reigning world champion, Isaac Robinson. Boys, thank you so much for joining me here in the booth. I'm going to first kick off with a question to Calvin. Calvin, how's the offseason going? And what are your memories playing the Grand Canyon course? I know it's been played for many years in that Thread on the Mountain tournament.
Yeah, my off season's going well. It's been pretty laid back. Not a whole lot of disc golf early on, but definitely more coming up into the season. I've gotten to play out there at the Olympus now quite a bit. I've played that Throw Down the Mountain course for I don't know, maybe 10 years or so. I didn't get to play the original layout out there. There was a while where there was no course out there, but when they brought the tournament back, I started to get to play out there. But I have a lot of experience. I've seen a decent amount of different layouts out there, and I think we're going to be seeing some new layouts, for this tournament.
Isaac, I'm going to ask you a familiar question, the one I just asked Calvin pretty much. How's your off season going? But also, you've seen the Grand Canyon course before, not as much as Calvin, but I'd love to hear your thoughts on that property as well.
Yeah, my off season is going great. Took probably about almost a month off of playing back in November, and now I've started practicing, started getting back in the swing of things, playing a couple local tournaments here. Just getting ready, getting used to competing again, and super excited for the 2024 season. I played the Olympus course back in 2020, I believe, and so it's been a while, but I remember the shots and the course being very, very fun. You're throwing downhill, you're throwing, off of rock quarry cliffs and stuff. So I'm very excited to see it again.
Well, Paul Macbeth, now one of the owners of the course, mentioning that Grand Canyon course was his favorite course for a very long time. So I think there's a lot of people really looking forward to it coming back and kind of getting revamped for this All-Star event, and now also the Florida Open. Let's jump into what we're doing here format-wise for this draft. It's going to be a snake draft. Calvin, being the number one seed, is going to get the first pick. But then after that, every other pick is going to be two picks. So Calvin gets pick number one, Isaac gets number 2 and 3, Calvin gets 4 and 5, so on and so forth until the teams are picked. We are simply just picking the best disc golfers available. There is a skills competition like years past on Friday, but that's not going to count towards points or the overall team competition. So we're playing Saturday doubles and Sunday singles only. So that's who we are drafting for our teams. Now there's 10 players available, 10 of some of the best players in our game right now. Not a bad list to pick from. And with that, I'm going to send it to our first pick. We're going to give it to Calvin. Calvin, what's your thought? This is a pretty incredible list of players.
Yeah, I don't think there's a wrong choice here, but I'm going to choose Ricky Wysocki as my first pick. He's been, incredibly consistent for as long as I can remember. So I think he's going to be a good member of the team for both doubles and singles.
Two-time world champion Ricky Wysocki off the table at number one. Isaac, you are a part of this new guard of young players coming up in the game, and you probably see things a little bit differently when it comes to drafting players. What are your thoughts here for your second and third picks?
Man, I think there's a lot of young players in this list right here, and I think my first pick is going to be Gannon Buhr. I know he's playing with a new bag this season, but he's a good friend of mine and an extremely talented disc golfer. So I want to pick Gannon as number one, and then I'm going to go with Kyle Klein as number 2. Both of these guys are U.S. champions, and so they can play well.
Got the new teammates on the team going at number 2 and 3, Gannon and Kyle off the table. Got to kick it straight to you, Calvin. You got 4 and 5 to choose from. Who are you going with?
My second pick, I'm gonna pick Eagle McMahon. He's gonna have a new bag as well, but I think with a new bag, sometimes comes some excitement to be out there playing, especially early in the season, and I'm sure he's gonna be out there practicing a lot before the beginning of the season. So I'm picking Eagle McMahon, another great player of the past 5-10 years, and my third pick will be Anthony Barella. He's younger. I mean, I think his upside is incredible. I mean, you watch him play, he does things that really no one else can. So, when he puts it all together, I think he's going to be really hard to beat. And I'm sure he's been putting in a lot of work as well this offseason.
Eagle McMahon and Anthony Barella now off the table. Before we go into the next picks for you, Isaac, I want to ask you a question. When you're drafting teams, how much does just pure talent come into consideration? How much does team chemistry come into consideration for you?
That's a good question. I think it's hard to go wrong with talent on this list. These are the top 12 guys in the world, and I think there's plenty of talent to go around. I want my team to just have a good time. This weekend is about it's a nice way to ease into the season. And so I think having a good team and building relationships with friends that you have, or even making new friends on the team, it can really set the tone for the next season and being on the road. So I want my team to be a group of guys that gets along and just kicks off the season right.
Well, with that said, you have 2 more picks. Who's it going to be?
Man, I think I'm going to continue on the young gun train here, and I'm going to pick Cole Redolin. Cole, he won not Idlewild, Ledgestone this past year, and just incredible play by him. That dude can throw a disc, so I'm going to put him on the team for sure. And then this is going to be a little bit of a dark horse pick maybe, but I'm going to pick Ezra Robinson. I have, I've seen him personally play disc golf for as long as I can remember, and I know he has what it takes to put it together, and I want him on my team.
I see some serious cohesion with those 4 players. You got the new teammates, Gannon and Kyle, got the young gun Cole, who's also friends with them, and then your brother. Not bad pick so far. Calvin, we're going to kick it back to you. I want to ask you the same question that I asked Isaac. What are your thoughts when you're picking a team? Is it just raw talent? Is it cohesion? What is it?
I think it's more. I've been picking more just on talent. I don't know. I don't think anyone on my list really dislikes each other, but I don't know. I mean, I don't think my list is necessarily as close, as far as like friends go as Isaac's list is, and I don't necessarily think that's possible for both of our lists to exist that way. But yeah, I'm still stoked with my list. I think everyone here is great, and I think everyone's going to get along fine when it comes to doubles. So I guess, should I jump into my next 2 picks?
Feel free. Go for it.
So my 4th pick, I'm going to pick Matt Oram. He's another Southeast golfer. He's had plenty of experience out at Throwdown the Mountain. He's incredibly consistent. He's been playing. Another one of those guys who's been playing forever, but he definitely has some experience out at the course, and he won MVP at the end of last year. So he's definitely clicking well, and I think he's going to play well out there. And then my final pick is going to be James Proctor. He's another great player who last season he came out really hot, and I think I'm hoping he comes out this season really hot as well. So I think that's going to round out my team.
Not a bad team there for Team Calvin, and that leaves the final pick, Aaron Gossage, to go to Isaac. Isaac, thoughts on Aaron and how he's kind of come along as a player? I think he's had pretty incredible rise over the past couple of years.
Yeah, I think Aaron's one of those players. I'm thrilled to have him on the team because I definitely wanted him. We got to play a lot together this past season in 2023, and one of my favorite guys to play with. Just the forehand and the driving is just insane. You know, when his putter's on, he's really hot, and we've seen him finish in the top many times on tour, beginning with Worlds back in 2022 and Portland, and he has what it takes to be a top player. So excited to have him on the team, and you know, he fits right in my opinion.
The teams are set and the All-Star event is right around the corner. And with that, I'm going to leave you both with some final words. Calvin, how do you feel about your team and how excited for the season are you?
Yeah, I'm really excited about my team. As I think we all said earlier, there really was no wrong choices ever. So it's I'm excited for this event. I'm excited for the season. You know, both of those events are only, you know, an hour and 20 minutes away from home for me. So yeah, I'm definitely excited to get the season kicked off.
Isaac, same question to you. How excited are you for the season and how do you feel about your team?
I'm very excited to start the 2024 season. This off season, it's been great. It's been relaxing, but it's been a little too long. And so I'm ready to be back on the road, back competing. And my team is looking really good. I'm feeling confident. I like the guys on there. So we're going to see who takes it down.
I think the spectators alongside the players and myself share the same sentiment. I think it's been a long off season and the competition can't start soon enough. With that said, we are going to wrap things up. It's going to be an incredible start to the year here in Brooksville, Florida. We're wrapping things up here on the Disc Golf Network. Thanks for tuning in.